Hey everybody, comatthew6 here. I have a Little Cup match against Blue, and this is my third match against him for the 6th official Little Cup tournament. Now, we split the first two matches, and with him winning the first one and me winning the second one, but those battles were pretty one-sided in both cases. The first match, he had me for sure, and the second match, I played pretty well against him. Now, this third match is interesting because it could have gone either way throughout the entire match, even up to the last attack. But so pretty much right now, what I'm doing is using Gyro Ball to break Murkrow substitutes, so it can't get free Brave Birds and Roosts against me. But what I'm recognizing is I can't KO it, and I only have 8 attacks with Gyro Ball. Otherwise, I'm pretty much SOL. So after using Gyro Ball for the 5th time, I finally decide to go for a Leech Seed to pump myself back up with some HP while he loses it. And this Murkrow is suffering a lot of damage from recoil at this point because it has to deal with Brave Bird, Iron Barbs, Leech Seed, and Hail. So after getting it down to like 13%, he switches into Krogunk, and I use Protect just because I thought it would Roost or Brave Bird again. So I go back and go to Gligar now, and which is pretty much the best counter to Krogunk. So yeah, I go for a substitute, but he switches in Bronzor, and that's why Krogunk and Bronzor are such a great team, just because Krogunk absolutely loses to Gligar, but Gligar absolutely loses to Bronzor. So I switch in Larvesta, which is a great Pokemon to have on your team unless there's Stealth Rock up, because it's going to be losing half its health, and it just would not be able to function properly. So I thought he was going to go into Staryu at that point, because on the first turn I had used Flare Blitz as he went into Staryu. And now I make another bad prediction because I should have used Shadow Ball because it was going to KO anyways, but I used Thunderbolt. But it turns out it didn't really matter because Shadow Ball got me a 2H KO anyways. So he goes back into Krogunk, which I thought was weird, but I assumed it was going to be using Sucker Punch, and I was wrong. So I'm using Larvesta, and I believe what I do now is Morning Sun. But I forgot that Hail was up, so I'm only recovering 25% of my health instead of the normal 50. So I'm pretty much giving him his Mienfoo a free switch-in. So, but thankfully, when it uses knockoff, it gets burned because of Flame Body, and now I get to Flare Blitz it, and it really can't do much to me anymore. So right now I use Morning Sun again. I should have Flare Blitz just to get rid of Mienfoo, or in this case Murkrow, because Murkrow is going to be quite the pain in my ass, as you will see later in this match. But right now, I'm feeling pretty damn confident just because I'm up 6-5 at this point, and his Murkrow really can't do much to me. But he sends in Staryu again, and I Flare Blitz it, because and the damage percents on this replay server are off, so I'm actually hanging on with 1 HP, and then it uses Fake Out. I'm not sure why. I guess I was slower. I guess I was faster, so he couldn't use another attack. But Fake Out could have proved very costly for him because of Flame Body. But I guess he didn't care enough and just wanted to get rid of my Larvesta. Even though it would have died that turn anyways, unless I used Morning Sun, which wasn't going to happen. So right now, I'm playing really retarded because I should be switching into Staryu or Misdreavus or something, but I'm deciding to stay in with Gligar because I figured that we're both going to die anyways. So yeah, I die and then switch in Misdreavus just to make sure that I can KO him. I use Thunderbolt again because I was afraid of some. Yeah, because I wanted to make sure Murkrow would die, even though it would have died from Shadow Ball anyways. So I'm trying to take it out with Thunderbolt, but realize it wasn't doing enough damage after it uses Roost. So I use Icy Wind, and what that will do is it lowers its speed. And now I will make sure that I win a speed tie, but I don't because it uses Sucker Punch. Now, the battle's a lot closer because Ferroseed's pretty much going to die now, even though I get Leech Seed off, and it really can't, Mienfoo can't really do anything to me. So it goes for the U-turn. No, I'm sorry. I use Protect as it knocks off, and the Leech Seed plus Burn plus Hail Recoil does just enough to KO it. Now it goes back into Krogunk. He goes back into Krogunk, and he Drain Punches. I should have Leech Seeded here, And this is a prediction mistake, but I Gyro Ball, which didn't really do much damage. If I had used Leech Seed again, I would have been able to get off 2 Protects, and it would have been KO'd from all that recoil, from Iron Barbs and Leech Seed and the Hail. So I go back into Mienfoo because I only have that in Staryu left, and I don't really want to bring out Staryu. And I wasn't sure if Payback was going to KO, so I go for the high jump kick, and it works. And now he goes into Murkrow, and I was just praying that high jump kick hits, and it does. And that's pretty much the end of the battle right there. Good game, Blue. I really enjoyed playing you, and I hope to play you again sometime.